Happy St. Patrick's Day, Jet fans. The Jets have been active for the first week of free agency. We discussed a lot of the moves, the improvements to the defense. We talked about the acquisition of Geno Smith. And here we are 1 week in, and Justin Fields has been traded. A lot of activity has been happening over the last week. But here we are today. Pretty excited. We have a special guest joining for the first time. Really happy we were able to get him on for the first time ever. Everyone, please welcome Matt O'Leary. Matt, thank you for joining the show.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Thank you so much for having me today. Excited to chop up some Jets football with you.
Yeah, for sure. We'll get right into it. I know we only got a little bit of time for you to jump on with Ryan and Green Bean for this evening. But let's get right into it. Go into the Jets offseason moves. Obviously, going out there, improving the defense with some key moves to the front seven specifically, getting Minkah Fitzpatrick. Out of those moves, I guess, as free agency start kicking off, which of those moves, I guess, impressed you the most? And what do you think this kind of projects for the rest of the offseason?
Yeah, I think the move that I came away the most impressed with was the Minkah Fitzpatrick trade, just because I thought it was really good value, right? They only gave up a late round pick to acquire a player at a big position of need at safety. And I think if you look at it, like I know he's still, 29 years old, and, you're looking at, for a team that's rebuilding, usually guys in their early to mid 20s, but this is a player that's still playing at a really high level on the back end of, defenses. And I like his versatility. I think Aaron Glenn, when you look at what he was able to do in Detroit, he worked really well with Brian Branch, who was a safety that he used all over his defense. I think he's going to use Minkah Fitzpatrick the same way. So when you factor in not only just the caliber of player, but then the fit for Aaron Glenn, I think that is by far the move that excites me the most.
Yeah, I agree there. And about Minkah Fitzpatrick, and I know when he got introduced, he kind of went out there and said he was going to be primarily playing nickel. I've been a big proponent that the Jets need to be attacking safety and attacking it often this offseason. I think they've done a pretty good job of that starting off. I still think that a safety should be a position of high need early in the draft. What's your opinions on that, and how early would you be willing to strike on a safety if you were the Jets?
Yeah, I definitely look at it as a big need. And like you said, with Minka, he could be playing slot corner. They could use him as a box safety or out deep. There's a lot of different roles for him. I know they brought back Andre Cisco. They have Malachi Moore from the draft last year, but I would look to add a safety. I mean, not at pick 2 for me. I know Caleb Downs is awesome, and like if they ended up handing in the card and it was Caleb Downs, like I wouldn't necessarily be upset about it. I just think with the other talent that's up there, I think they could use Arvell Reese or a David Bailey type of player. But I mean, as early as 16, like Thiedemann from Oregon is a name that I think makes a lot of sense. There's some guys in the second round too, like the safety out of LSU in the second round I've seen mocked to the Jets a lot as well. I look at that still as a position of need. So it would still rank pretty high, even though they did make that big splash with the Minkah Fitzpatrick trade.
Yeah, Hawley's one of my favorite players to mock to the Jets in the second round. Just fits everything this team needs from a physicality standpoint. Can be their back end safety, play center field, just everything that they need. Obviously has some room to improve. Why you talking about him in the second round, not so much a first rounder, but I'm all for that being the move. And then continuing on, last week when we were on Dom, we talked a little bit about this offensive line. They need to do some upgrades. They go out there and get Parham to play on the offensive line. A lot around that. Getting a guy in a weak offensive line, but he actually looked pretty solid in what was a terrible Raiders offensive line. What were your thoughts on that move? Do you think it precludes the Jets from going offensive linemen early in the draft?
I think it gives you that insurance where you're not like your hand isn't forced, right? Like before they made this signing, when they didn't have a veteran at left guard, I was thinking, all right, well, maybe Vega Owane is in real possibility here for the Jets at pick 16. They bring in the veteran who I think is at least comparable to John Simpson. He didn't have as many penalties last year. He's a couple years younger. I don't think he's going to be some all-pro starter, but I think he can come in and be a serviceable to slightly above average starter. So I don't think that, necessarily stops you from taking either a guard or center. At least with Parham too, he has played some center in his career. So I wonder, like, would they still be interested in drafting a guard and then maybe having a competition between Myers and Parham for the starting center spot? Like, offensive line depth is a good thing, and I'm always a proponent of having a lot of it. So, it's not as pressing of a need, so they don't have to do it. But can they still do it? Yes, of course. I still think they could look to add one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm on board with the whole like early, maybe second day of the draft, like in round 2, possibly grabbing maybe a what's his name there? Oh boy, why can't I think of his name?
DeSantis
and Paragon. Is that the other kid?
Yeah, Pregnon.
That's it.
Yeah.
Those kids, those guys, early day 2, like you said, just give them a little bit of give them something to go into training camp with, right? Let them fight for that spot, and then you can move the dice around, especially with Myers playing center. You could put Parham in center and all that. That'd be pretty awesome. I agree totally on that.
I know you didn't have like the best reputation after he left, but I was a big fan of like when Tannenbaum was a GM here. He always went into the draft, at least during that like 2006, like 2008 run. He always went into the draft with filling all the holes with capable players. Like you felt like you go into the draft and you have starters all over the field, and that's why he was able to be aggressive at times and trade up for Mark Sanchez when we needed a quarterback. Trade up for Darrelle Revis when we had some limitations at corner to go and get a top end player. I think David Harris was a trade up too, if I remember correctly. He really was able to be aggressive in the draft because you didn't have 3-4 holes to fill, and you needed to fill them all early in the draft. And I think, give some credit to Aaron Glenn and Muji for how they're approaching this season. They really are taking that similar approach in trying to fill out this roster as best they can.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think, like you said, you're not going into this draft and going, oh my God, they have to come away with this. And, maybe wide receivers, the last thing where I feel like that's the one area where I would like to see them add on this roster. But, all things considered, when you look at before free agency began and all the holes at each level on the defense, safety, at corner, linebacker, interior defensive line, edge, I felt like they did at least a good job of raising the floor of those units. They didn't bring up or bring in a ton of, flashy names and dish out $100 million contracts all over the board, but they brought in professionals who I think will, again, like I said, raise the floor of these units where, you feel okay about having your depth guys go in and you're not relying on, Michael Clemens, for example. He's not going to play 50% of snaps. You significantly upgraded your edge 3 and 4, depending on what you continue to do in the draft.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, like, you mentioned receiver, and in my opinion, obviously any offseason is a different story. If you're going receiver in free agency, you're most likely going to have to overpay just because of that position. We were going into this and look at Alec Pierce. We were thinking, okay, he's going to get around $20 million. Can the Jets afford that? Well, he got close to $30 million after it was all said and done. Every offseason, whoever the top tier free agent is usually ends up getting tagged and doesn't make it to free agency. It's just the way it is. Your best way of really approaching this is why I think the Jets really need to be aggressive in the draft. If receivers start falling off the board early, you may have put yourself in a position where you want to trade up for Mekhi Lemon or Carnell Tate if they end up slipping just a little bit, just to ensure you get someone opposite Garrett Wilson. We can't go into the season with Garrett Wilson being your 1A and nobody else around.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. And with all the, draft capital that the Jets have, they have that flexibility, right? Like, do they really need to stay put and make whatever it is, 7 selections on day 3? Probably not, right? Like, you can move around the board a little bit. And I think it really depends on, what that ends up looking like. And, 33, the first pick in the second round, that's a spot where teams usually like to try to trade up to. So, maybe you're moving up from, 16 and you're using 44 in the mix, and then you want to recoup some assets. So then you're moving down on day 2 and you kind of, move up and down the board that way.
I totally agree with that philosophy. I would love to see the Jets use their 16th and their 44th, move up into the top 10 to grab that guy. I mean, it doesn't matter who it is, if it's Lemon or Tate, I'm all on board. Day 3, like you said, that 33rd pick, trade down, you'll get probably another third and probably later in the second as well. So it's like you still get your 4 picks in the first 2 rounds. Well, actually 3 rounds in this case, but I'm all on board with that too. I love it.
Yeah. And I think on the receiver talk, I mean, there's names floated out there, Brian Thomas Jr. I'm starting to think that smoke has kind of simmered down a little bit, although it could probably peak up when we get close to the draft. How much are you willing to go up? I mean, I'm willing to send a second personally, but there's some noise out there about what's causing for the Jaguars to potentially want to move off him. Is there some sort of character issues potentially inside that just hasn't been exposed yet? What are you willing to, Matt? I know you talked about it in your mock drafts a little bit, but I'll let you kind of spoil it up a little bit.
Yeah, I think I'd be comfortable with pick 44 going back the other way, right? Like, I don't think it has to be a first rounder. And it's really hard to gauge what the value of him would be, right? Because he has year 1, that monster season. And then year 2 clearly took a little bit of a step back. So I still think you're going to have to give up something for him. And I'd be willing to give up 44, especially because, like I just laid out a second ago, with pick number 33, you could then slide down, recoup that asset, maybe pick up a 3rd round pick. And then you got Brian Thomas Jr. with one of your seconds. You move down, you have another 2nd round pick and then a 3rd rounder.
All right. Yeah. And that would be ideal plan. I mean, you still get to pick 4 players in what we would consider premium slots. And you get your wide receiver too, and kind of work your way through that. Dominic, any other questions on free agency? We can kind of start gearing towards the quarterbacks.
Yeah, just on one quick one on the linebackers. Do you think linebacker is a pressing need going into this draft?
I do. I really like the addition of Demario Davis, but I'm pretty low right now on Jamie Sherwood. So I would look to add another linebacker. I mean, talking about the draft, someone in the 2nd round that I like a ton is Jacob Rodriguez. That's a name that I've talked about a lot. It seems like he's always around the ball, creating, making plays, creating turnovers, and just kind of plays with his hair on fire. So I think he would be a really good fit. And I want a young player in here that you can help learn from, a guy like Demario Davis at this point in his career.
Yeah, you don't want to waste the kid's talent. Well, the man's talent, right? For that sake. I mean, might as well bring him in here, learn from one of the best in the game. That's the proper way to do it.
For sure. No, I'm with you on that. Linebacker is definitely a position, especially with Demario Davis's age. And speaking of guys with age, Jets go out there and send over a pick swap for Geno Smith to be our quarterback for 2026, to try and bridge a season where, let's be real, there weren't many options out there. Matt, give us your opinion on Geno Smith and the fact that the Jets were able to get something out of a trade for Justin Fields as well.
Yeah, so on both fronts, so starting with Gino, right? They end up trading for him so that they don't have to, get into a potential bidding war or trying to lure him to come to the Jets. And, it was a late round pick swap. With the number of picks the Jets have, like, I really just don't have it in me to, be upset about, swapping a couple late day 3 picks. And he's cheap, right? He's going to be $3 million, counting against the Jets cap. And look, I'm not convinced that Gino's going to be this long-term savior option, but that's not really what I think the Jets were looking for. I think, unfortunately, they tried the reclamation project last year with Justin Fields, a younger player who showed some upside, but has had a lot of inconsistencies, and it didn't work. So I thought that they'd look for a, maybe a more veteran option, someone who has a bit of a higher floor. And I think Gino is that. I think he's going to be an okay to competent level quarterback. And, at least with him, he's not afraid to let push the ball down the field. And I'm sure that'll make Garrett Wilson happy. And, some turnovers will come with that. But, I'd almost rather see that than some of the conservative offense that we saw last year with either Justin Fields or Brady Cook. So I'm willing to live with some of those turnovers. And then on the Justin Fields front, I thought for sure he was going to be a post-June 1 cut. They'd eat the whole $10 million. But the fact that they were able to get any draft pick for him, I think is a major win. And then you take into account that they're actually saving some money because they're going to eat the $7 million and Kansas City will eat the $3 million on the remaining $10 million of guaranteed money. Then it's just an even added bonus on top of that. So I think those were, two pretty shrewd moves at the quarterback spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think, talk about like honoring the trades and like working the trade market the way it should. Darren Muji's done a pretty awesome job. I would know what the count's at now. I know at one point it was at 9. I think there was 2 more trades for players after that. I think he's up to like 11 or 12 player trades in just his first year plus on the job, and all low risk. And I mean, in most cases, bringing in some quality players and allowing players who probably didn't think we're going to get anything and getting them out there for not so much. It's one of those things where, like, you can get aggressive in the trade market, but he's been actually really conservative, not wasting anything but those late round picks. And I feel like we still have so many of them to really kind of use in the draft and be able to move up and still kind of strike in this draft.
Bring in some more players, man. 6th or 7th rounders. We'll get rid of them all. Just bring in some quality players. That's it.
And if you could work the market like that, because you're not gonna bring in 4 or 6 round picks to get starting spots. If you can use them to move up or whatever have you, that's kind of the way to go about it.
Yeah, I definitely think so too. And even like, I know we didn't talk about backup quarterback yet, but just while on the conversation of quarterbacks, like if they flipped a 6th or 7th round pick to Carolina for Andy Dalton to back up, like I wouldn't hate that either. And then you have your 2 veteran options, and maybe you want to add somebody in the draft at some point as your 3rd quarterback. I would be totally on board with that route.
Now continue with the quarterback talk, only because it's topic for conversation for sure in Jetsland whenever you're talking quarterbacks. I watched when you were doing your mock draft on Monday. You got down to about 45. I forget the trade you made from 33. You got down to 45. And I noticed that you drafted Basantis. Ty Simpson was still on the board. How far do you think this regime is willing to just wait? Or do you think they're just going to completely bypass the season and just look at quarterback in 2027? Do you think if he was there, let's use 44 or even 33 as an example, if he's there, do you think it's likely that they're going to pull the trigger?
I think there's a chance that they absolutely would pull the trigger. And part of the reason why I didn't do it in that particular mock is because I really wanted to draft a guard at 16. That was my initial plan. I wanted Vega there, and he wasn't. So to kind of prove the point of the video I was trying to make, I was just like, all right, I'll take the guard now, and then I'll wait and take the quarterback in day 3 or in the 3rd round rather, which I did with Nussmeier. But if they're sitting there on night 2 of the draft to pick 33 and Ty Simpson's still there, I absolutely think it's something that they would consider. I don't know what their evaluation is on these quarterbacks and if they like one more than the other, but I don't know how we could be upset if the Jets, use the 2nd round pick on a guy. Like, you're not married to him. If for whatever reason he gets action this year and doesn't look the part, that's not stopping you from using one of your 3 first round picks on a quarterback next year. So it's not like they took him 2nd overall. So I would be fine with it if they did take Ty Simpson in the 2nd round.
Mm-hmm. Do you think there's any chance that they take him at 16 and get super aggressive? I'd like to get Cam in 2027 and see what happens personally. Obviously, if he's there late and you kind of put yourself in a situation of a choice, fine. But do you think there could be some desperation on the minds that we need somebody in here?
Yeah, I think if you look at it, right, like they're coming off a 3-win season. It feels like there's a lot of pressure on them to really start winning some games. And tying yourself to a young quarterback is usually a good way to buy yourself some more time. It clearly worked for Joe Shane, who's still in a job right now, as he got the credit for the trade up on Jackson Dart. And I don't necessarily disagree with what you were saying and, waiting until 2027 to make the big move for quarterback. The only thing that I always bring up in these conversations is, Aaron Glenn might be sitting there going like, I might not get the chance to draft my guy if we don't take a significant step forward this year. So maybe I will reach. And I don't know if that's the right thing or the wrong thing for the Jets. Obviously, if Simpson hits, then it doesn't really matter where you drafted him. You can't reach on a franchise quarterback, but it's a big gamble. And I tend to lean towards wanting to continue to build out the roster at pick 16, but I don't think we can rule it out.
Yeah, I think the same here too. And talking of other quarterbacks in this draft, you have you have the rise, especially at the combine. You had some good outings from Drew Aller. Here's a kid that was supposed to be a projected #1 pick last year. Same thing with Nuss, and how these guys they just fell off planet Earth. They're sitting at day 3 picks now. I'm leaning more towards that route, picking a day 3 quarterback. Let's say we were to get a Nuss or an Aller in the 3rd round, or trade up to the 3rd round to grab one of these kids. A room with that, doesn't necessarily stop us in 2027 to take the big swing. Let's say, hey, there's no wrong room to have 2 good quarterbacks in there if there's a chance for that,
No, definitely. And like you said, with both the examples you used in Nussmeier and Aller, those were guys who before the year, they were projected 1st-round picks. So there's obviously a lot of talent there. Injury and poor play kind of factored into why they're not being picked there. But, maybe there's belief that they can get that guy to the player that he was last year.
For sure.
And let's not forget Klubnik too. He was another guy. Just talk about top 10. Now, you don't even see him on these draft boards sometimes. But he's a guy that he's got to arm himself, and I wouldn't be against it. Obviously things didn't go well his last year in Clemson, but he could be worth a flyer, especially if you get Frank Reich to work with him. Maybe something good come out of that.
Well,
so obviously we still have the draft to go, Matt. But going into this offseason, I wasn't the most optimistic about the direction of this team. Obviously, how could you after what we all saw in 2025 with this team? But they've had a pretty strong offseason. Raising the floor has been a popular term thrown out there about what they did with this roster. Going into it, what did you think their kind of win-loss projection would look like versus where they stand now? Obviously, still got a chance to upgrade this team in the draft. But if you had to put a win total on how they've progressed to this point, how would you put that?
Yeah, so, they're coming off a 3-win season, and the roster was in a really bad spot at the end of the year. I think with the moves that they made so far, they're probably up to 5 or 6 wins, right? They're trending in the right direction, and I think it really depends on what they do in the draft. If they have a home run draft, then, maybe we're talking ourselves into a way where, hey, maybe this is a team that overachieves a little bit and gets to 8 wins. I'm not personally there yet. I don't like to be, right? I want to be one of the more optimistic fans, but it's hard coming off the year in which they just did. But I think they definitely improved the depth of this roster, which should at least add in a couple more wins.
I remember when me and Dom were talking about this offseason, and this team, and we were going through next season. It's you look at this team versus other teams, and they're going to be at a distinct disadvantage at quarterback and at head coach in fairly saying 14 of the 17 games next season. And I think with the acquisition of Geno Smith, I think you're in line. I think the answer is still probably around 14, but I think Geno Smith can steal a couple maybe with, the kind of games that he's played with Seattle. If we can get the Geno Smith of 2 or 3 years ago, fantastic. If we get the Geno Smith from last year, albeit with a poor offensive line, you might see that win total spike up a little bit. But Matt, got about 6 more minutes before we got to head out. I'll give you a little time to kind of, give your farewells here. Go over any products you might have over the next few months. I know you guys are doing a draft party thing up there in New York. The floor is yours for
South Florida, man.
Yeah, we got to make our way down to Florida next time. That'd be a blast.
It would be.
So for the draft, we're doing me and the Talking Jets guys are doing a draft party in Hoboken, New Jersey at Texas, Arizona. So come hang out for the first round. Tickets $25, and it's half-priced apps and $5 drinks all night. So it's a good deal. Come hang out with us. And yeah, for me, at least content-wise, for the next little bit, we're really going to be shifting and focusing more on the NFL draft. Continuing to do our mock drafts, getting into who the Jets are meeting with and having their top 30 visits with. And it's a really fun time. The off season is unfortunately where, as Jet fans, we like to have our fun, and that's when we're the most optimistic. So a lot of content still to be churned out here as we wind it up for the NFL draft.
All right, perfect. One thing I can say about the Jets, they've never lost a game in April, May, or June. So we can always tip our cap to that. Matt, appreciate you for joining. Yeah, and I got to go, but definitely got to have you on again. If you ever have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. But it's been awesome to have you on today.
Yeah, same, Matt.
Awesome. Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much for having me. It was a lot of fun.
All right, awesome. Take care.
All right. That was good to get someone on here that we got, we got some people starstruck in the chat.
Oh, Patty. How you doing, Patty? How's everything?
Johnny Boy coming back.
Hey, what's up, Johnny?
No matter what.
I'm all on board with that, man. Dominic Zvada. I love him. I want to get his jersey.
And then Crispy doing well wearing my New York Jets hat. Just finished eating. Just like our Jets GM, Muji, aggressive, roster overhaul, construction, and great mentality and moves. Excellent approach.
I totally agree with that. I mean, you know what? Everyone's starting to see this. I mean, us Jet fans are looking at this whole situation and seeing how Muji's clearly the guy here. I mean, listen, he still needs to prove it, though. He's done great trades. Early in the first draft, he had a pretty decent early part. The second half of that draft wasn't too good. But if he knocks it out of the park, I'm not saying he's got to hit every pick, but if he can probably contribute at least 4 starters and 2 good, well-rounded players out of this draft, I mean, I tell you, I could see, let's say Aaron Glenn does not succeed, Muji clearly staying behind and hiring the next coach. 100%. What's your take on that?
I gotta see how he does the draft. I like what he's done in the trade market. He's been really good there. I gotta see what he does in the draft this year. Last year, my biggest gripe on it was after the first few rounds, and the question's still out on Zaire Thomas because he played a few good games, but he also missed a lot of games with injuries, so you didn't get a full evaluation of him. Arian Smith was not a good pick at all. I don't even know if he should make the roster this year.
They were saying he's supposed to be like a UDFA. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think it was UDFA. I think they picked him in the 4th round, 5th. I think it was the 4th round.
4th round, yeah, 4th.
A lot of people kind of viewed him more as like a 6th round pick, kind of like your speed demon type of thing, and he wasn't even that for the Jets. So that's my concern there is just how he handled day 3. Maybe a full off season or a full year with the scouting department and kind of putting his, grading scale on the scouting team. Maybe that changes things going into this year. You can only hope. But far too many times we've had a GM that can hit on the first few rounds and then just completely whiff on day 3. Joe Douglas, as great as he was in the top 40,
after that he was like.
Outside of Michael Carter, who's you're
right,
who's somebody to make the roster and get a second contract or anything. So, even after the 3rd round, let's be real. After the 3rd round, like his first draft was Ashton Davis, who stuck around the league for a few years.
Yeah, he's doing still in the league.
Yeah, he's doing good. But just he wasn't. That just didn't seem like the right move at the time. But. That's Douglas. We'll see how he does this draft. Like I said, he's still.
How you doing? We're kind of like due for like a late pick, like a 5th or a 6th rounder that becomes. I'm not saying he's got to be an all-pro, but a damn good player. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're due for one of those kind of players, man. We just need to hit like one player late in the round. Like, holy crap, where's our Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant? You know what I'm saying?
Damn. We can't even get a quarterback with the second pick.
Kyle Shanahan, any quarterback will do great in this system.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But that's kind of what I would say on Muji. The Justin Fields trade, I don't want to take up too much of Matt's time. The one issue I have with the Justin Fields trade, and it's just me nitpicking. So we did get a 6th round pick, and that's great, getting something for a player that we thought we were going to release. But personally, so something that kind of got ignored a little bit. I don't know if you realize with the cap, we because of the trade, we had to eat all of his salary in this year. We We couldn't do the post June 1. We couldn't, kick out $10 million like we were initially talking about. All that cap hit in year one. That's probably the one issue I had, because $10 million you can get another player. Versus a 6th-round pick, you can still get another player, but you're not getting the quality player.
You're not going to get a caliber. No, I know what you mean. Honestly, I think it was you could look at it this way also, man. Come 2027, man, it's just going to be an extra $10 million on our books. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So I'm all on board for 2027, dude. Listen, I want to just see progress this year. I want to see it. I just want to see a team that can play and fight. That's all I want to see. I know that. Listen, if they hit 6-7 wins, I'll be happy. That's all I got to say. Now, is that enough to keep Aaron Glenn? That's the question. If they're fighting every game, it probably is.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. It's like, you can get fired too winning 6-7 games. I think 7 wins gives him another year. But again, like, he can win 7 games, but then also get blown out in the other 10 games, and that's too much.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
You lose your 10 games by 20 or more points, and you win your 7 games by a point. I don't know if Woody Johnson's going to feel overly impressed with that, but we'll see. We're well ahead of like anything. But Dom, like, obviously, we still have the rest of this offseason. We still have a month and change.
Yeah, a little bit over
up until the draft.
Yeah, less than 5 weeks, bro.
Yeah, ready to go to Honeys.
Hell yeah, all day, man. We're gonna have a big party there.
What moves do you still want to see? Obviously, we all understand receiver, and that's obviously like the kind of glaring
before the
thing.
Draft?
Yeah, before the draft.
All right, so you have. Listen, you could upgrade maybe the tight end room, bring another tight end in. Who's out there? I know you got CJ. What's his name is out there. How much is someone like that going to cost? What's his name? Who's out there? What tight end is that? Who's the big tight end out there right now? That's CJ Zvada. We had his ass. I forgot.
I'll check it right now. It's still available.
Njoku? I think it's Njoku.
Didn't he get picked up by somebody? I thought he did.
I'm not sure. I think he was still out there. But I wouldn't be mad about bringing in another tight end. I would like an inline tight end. Someone that could, block.
See, I'm actually the opposite. I'd like them to get a pass catching tight end, because I feel like Mason Taylor is strong enough in the run game. He can catch the ball too, but I feel like he's strong enough in the run game where you. Right. I think the Jets need someone vertically, especially with Geno Smith there now.
You like Sadiq?
I know. The problem is, I don't know if it makes sense with Sadiq with the other needs that they have to get him in 16.
So where is he slipping to? Watch a lot of these mock drafts, man. He's going late. He's going late.
I think when it's all said and done, he's gonna be a top 20 pick.
Top 20,
maybe mid-20s, He's not making it to the second round. I doubt that.
So let's say he's sitting there at 27, 28. Are you shopping, trying to move up to get him?
I would, yeah.
Yeah, that's something to think about, because, like I said,
the problem is, though, and maybe that costs you a 4th-round pick, so the Jets have the ammo for that.
Yeah.
But the Jets are kind of limited in a trade-up unless they go with, 2027 capital, which I don't want them touching 2027 capital.
Yes.
Because of the fact that they don't have a 3rd-round pick. A 3rd-round pick is that, a 3rd-round pick can get you from 33 to, maybe 22. I'll look at the trade value chart to be sure, But when you start getting into that 25 and up, whatever, maybe you can start dealing with it, setting a 4th-round pick to move up from 33 to 26, 27. You know what I mean?
Just to give them some additional ammo. There's a situation we spoke with Matt a little bit a while ago. What is it going to take? Let's say the Jets do. Let's say that they pick the 2nd pick, they pick Arbel. Let's say 16th pick, they pick somebody else, or let's say whatever. And come there and come 25, 26, the Simpson's still on the board. I don't think he would be. I think someone's going to take him earlier. But would you jump up in the late 1st round to grab Simpson? Tank for Ty Simpson? Let's go. What do you do?
it's obviously something to consider. I think it's definitely like I personally think it's possible for this regime to want to do it. Do I personally want to do it?
I mean, but here's the other thing. Here's the other thing, Ant. Like, let's say they jump up and get him. All right. By what? I mean, when is he going to be starting? I mean, Gino's got to start the year. There is no way we're throwing Ty Simpson out there week 1. You just cannot do that. Absolutely not. I mean, I honestly wouldn't want to see him out there.
I mean, no, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. With Geno Smith, I think that's the perfect like kind of example for like even if Dante Moore would have come out, this would be perfect. Geno Smith again. It would always come down to what the Jets do win wise. If they're 1-2, you know, there's going to be a lot of conversations about moving off of Geno and putting the rookie in. Like that's the one thing you've always got to put in the back of your head. It doesn't matter. Look what happened last year with Russell Wilson. He had a 400-yard game in week 2 against Dallas, and was still benched by week 5. Look,
yeah,
I you know what I mean? Like
I do. I just feel like this kid needs. I don't know. Listen, there were parts of last year, even when Enzo was sending all these clips over, watching some of those Alabama games, man. I mean, there was a part of the season where he was actually consensus number 1. You know what I'm saying? And then come by I think it was like by week 8, 7, 8. I don't know if it was injury related or everybody figured out Alabama's had no run game. They had no offensive line. Kid was getting crushed out there. Caught up the game, you know what I'm saying? They got tape on the kid now. So I don't know. There's a mix of a lot. I mean, listen, this kid could be great, or this kid could be just everything that, you know, you're starting to see. He's slipping and slipping and slipping, you know? Could be another Alar or another Nussmeier, Klubnik. I mean, we're seeing this now.
So going back to the trade value chart. So if the Jets were to take 33 and package it with their 103rd pick,
right.
It when the trade value chart there would be 213 points, which would get you to 27.
Oh wow!
So
yeah, right.
You're only moving 5 spots up.
No, I hear you. Hey, listen, if there's something you really love there, that 4th pick means nothing, dude, because that's a player for player there. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you're still.
You're
losing a player in the 4th round. Yeah, you're losing the 4th round player. But
when was the last time the Jets hit on a 4th round pick, bro? I mean, you know what I'm saying? I get what you're saying, but don't they have 2 4th rounders or 2 5ths? They have not 2 4ths.
So here's the issue that I have is again I'm not like griping over it, but let's say the Jets do that trade, they would go from pick 44 all the way to pick 140 without a draft pick.
Yeah, but in the same token, let's say we didn't have all these picks. I mean, we're only talking 4 picks in the top 4 rounds anyway. You get what I'm saying? So we're still.
But then you're also picking. You go 44. It sucks not having a 3rd round pick. I gotta tell you that right now.
It does, but we have 2 1s. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I'm not being greedy.
I know what you mean.
That's a huge gap.
So let me ask you a question. Would you rather have 2 1s, 1 second, and 1 third, or 2 1s or 2 2s, 0 third? I want the top players.
I'd rather we never traded for friggin' Nahshon Wright and still had a 3rd round pick.
Oh well, shit. You know what? They got what they deserve too, man.
You know what? After that 3rd round pick, we could finally flush ourselves with Nahshon Wright and never think about it again.
It's all over after that.
Is he still out there as a free agent? I think I saw him out there. Is he still out there?
He probably is, dude. Everybody's out there, dude. There's some players out there still. I know Juwan Jennings is out there. Stephon Diggs.
Dude, Njoku is still available.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Geno Smith is still out there.
Who?
Geno Smith.
Ooh, Geno Smith. Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
He's a pass catcher like you want. And so is Njoku.
Darren Waller.
Did he?
Yeah, it's not much. Stone Smart.
Stone Smart. Oh, we had him last year.
I know.
Nah, with him. I don't want nobody from that.
Oh, shame. before I die over here, gotta plug my computer in.
Yeah, man.
There we go.
So what was your whole deal?
Yeah,
you heard that report
yeah, not
with,
much there.
Did you hear that report with Mike Francesa about the power shift?
Yeah, we can talk about that. I didn't want to talk about it earlier.
Yeah, what do you make of that?
So Mike Francesa came out, obviously talked about the power shift happening. Connor Hughes came out and, based on his intel from within the building, says that that's not the case. I think here's the thing. Like, I don't think Aaron Glenn has as much power as he once did. I think when he first got here, it was, tandem. And I think it's still tandem-ish. I think maybe because of how bad the season went last year, they want him to more focus on coaching as being like his primary thing instead of, having his full say on everything. Yeah. I mean,
there was a lot
ridiculous. You know what's ridiculous? We paid the same contract to Jamie Sherwood that Devin Lloyd just got.
I don't want to talk about that. Hey, listen, if we were going to get Jamie Sherwood of 2 years ago, I would have signed up for it again. We didn't know.
Yeah.
You know what? And I'll be honest with you, I do 100% expect a better year from him this year. You know what I'm saying? Especially with him next to Demario Davis. I mean, that guy's going to be calling the defense. It's not going to be Jamie Sherwood. He wasn't built for that. You got what I'm saying? He couldn't be the Mike. And that's why I was a little like, even with the Jets signing Demario Davis, and believe me, I love the guy. Was he 37? I really thought, they were going to go with Anzalone, 32 years. I think he was 32 years old, 6 years younger. I mean, hey, listen, I'm not mad at the move. I think they needed to bring in pure leadership there. And that guy's, he's just a man. But I'm just saying, I was a little surprised at that move. That's all.
Yeah, obviously a lot of shock there. I mean, the way I would put it is like, especially if the Jets go Marvell Reese number 2, like, listen, I really want them to deploy in the way that I kind of envision him as a player and not like just make him an edge. I know he said stuff at the combine about how he wants to be an edge player and that's it, whatever. But the guy's
danger zone.
Hold on, Dane. By the way, just so everyone's aware, and especially you, Mister, Dane will be joining us on March 31st.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. That's next.
So no calling out. No, you got a sniff, stuffy nose. No excuses this time around.
That's 2 weeks from now.
Nice. You got time.
Cool. That'll be fun.
You got time. Take some vitamin C. No excuses.
No problem.
Get ready. But no, it was still. They still need to address linebacker at some point. Do I think it's as high as 33, 44? I think it really depends who's there. CJ Allen's not going to be there, and I think he's in that realm like where it's.
We're at 16?
No, 33. I'm saying.
Oh,
he's not
okay.
going to be there at 33. He'll be there at 16. I just think it's way too early for him.
Dude, if it's not receiver at 16 because there's none left, I don't want to take the 4th best receiver in this draft at number 16. I want the best linebacker in this draft at number 16 after Sonny Styles. I mean, am I right or am I wrong?
I think that's a reach potentially. I mean,
I got something for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to throw this out there. Let's just say we stay put at our first 2 picks, number 2 and number 16. Okay. What?
Do you want to kick off the mock draft simulator?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's just do that.
If you're ready,
what?
Let's.
All right.
All right. You got to redeem yourself. Last time was terrible. That was a bad one.
Now we'll do good on this one. But you know what? What's going to stink?
I don't think you drafted a receiver until the 5th round. If that shit happens, there'll be some.
No, I know. But here's the problem. All right, this is what I want to do. All right. You tell me if we want to approach this way. With the 2nd pick, we take the receiver. At number 16, we take our defensive pass rusher. But you'll get a Kendrick Falk at 16.
I don't like Kendrick Falk, honestly.
No, you don't?
Mm-mm.
No, I get it. I'm just trying to make everybody happy here, man. I mean, everybody wants to receive. You know, we're moving up in this draft. We're moving up to 7 or 8. We're going to trade with Washington. That's what we're doing. We did this one time, I think, right? I don't think
we
no,
did.
we didn't.
All right, hold on a second. This thing is like taking. There we go. A little bit.
Boom.
All right, get this thing rolling.
Boom. Go
Zoom
slow
in a little bit.
And I want to trade with Washington or the Saints. Is it Washington that needs picks?
Yeah, Washington needs picks.
All right, so we're gonna trade with Washington, bro. So number 7.
Well, let's see what happens first. See how the board falls. So I have it on slow motion.
All right.
So Raiders went. They got Fernando Mendoza.
Alvaro Reese. He's gonna be the pick, bro.
Yeah. Where do you think it's at right now, like percentage wise? Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, David Bailey.
I think it's 70% Arvell. David Bailey, 20%, 10% Sonny Styles.
Yeah, I think that's about right. All right.
I mean, listen, listen, he's the best player in this draft. You do know that, right?
What happened?
Arvell Reese is the best player in this draft.
Well, he's been my favorite for a little while. So
yeah. And listen, I love Sonny Styles, you know, but
Same here.
Listen, if there was a world we could get both of them, that would have been awesome. But unfortunately,
I told you way back when we were doing these mock drafts, and like it was like we were getting Sonny Styles in the second round. I said,
yeah, I was like,
yeah. All I gotta tell you is this guy's gonna be a top 15 pick, and
dude, top 5.
I was still wrong. I was still wrong.
Top 5, top 10 pick for sure.
You will definitely be a top 10 pick.
Yeah,
you may be a top 5 pick.
I'm starting to lose a lot of traction with David Bailey. I don't know why. You know, I just, you know, the ability not to stop the run, I'm hearing is
he can stop the run. I think it's a little blown out. He can stop the run. The thing that I get kind of weary on with him is I feel like he's very similar to what you're going to get out of Will McDonald.
Yeah, I don't want 2 of those players. I want a stud, bro.
Remember when Corley was the 4th best wide receiver?
Malachi Corley, man. Yeah, buddy.
All right, so let's do this. So Arvell Reese number 2, and then we'll look and see what we want to do.
I want to trade with Washington. I don't care who's on the club. I don't care who's there.
Jeremiah Love, Carnell Tate.
Stop.
Oh, Washington already picked anyway.
All right. So we're done. Saints want to trade?
Let's look at the trade value chart. So 16.
So we give him 16, and we give him 44 for number 8, and that's it. I mean, we're not going to get a 3rd round. We're not going to get anything back. Let's just go with the most common. Do you think I gets the job done?
This should.
So we're sending them 16 and 44 for their 8 and 73.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go for it. I don't think that'll be the deal. I think it would be just a 2 for 1. Yeah. All right, we're in. All right. So, I mean, here's a couple. Listen, I made this deal for this reason right here. We're going receiver. We're going Mekhi Lemon all the way. I'm not even looking at Jordan Tyson. I just don't trust his injury history, you know. And he might fall to number 16, by the way. Would you take him at 16?
I would take him, yeah.
At 16 with all that injury history, bro? Do you want to really go to that? You want to go down that road?
I'd take him.
I know you take him, but I don't know if the Jets would do. All right, we're gonna trade this pick, bro. Let's see who's got.
Hold on, before you do anything, so Tyson went 19. Anyway, so we're trading this pick.
Yeah, see what we can get. All right, so Tennessee wants to move up, and we take that 35. I'll do that.
It's I don't know. It's not enough juice.
Not enough juice. Oh, you don't think it'll get accepted? That ain't getting accepted. 39-7. Oh.
And then after this, no trades. But if you want to trade, you're moving down 6 spots, getting another pick in the top 70.
Try it.
Over.
All right, done. We're in. So now we recouped our pick. And we got two-thirds out of the deal.
All right, so where are we at so far? We got Arvell Reese, we got Kai Lemon.
Bro, there's no question here. We're going right after Emmanuel Pregnon. Now
Hold
we
on.
feel guard.
Before we go crazy,
All right.
goes back to what we were talking to Matt about.
Yeah, you know what?
You gotta ask yourself the question on the quarterback.
Let's go. Let's go Ty Simpson.
We're going Ty?
Yeah, let's put Ty in there. I mean, there's some players here. I mean,
some players.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think. All right. I mean, let's see who's on the board here. I mean, you got your. Hey, listen, we could take our linebacker right now. Okay, we could address quarterback in the next round, bro.
Honestly, like if you ask me right now, I think linebacker makes more sense. I think corner makes sense.
And guard, dude. I mean, not that we.
See, I think guard is going to be something the Jets try and address maybe
later
on day 3. Like now, it's not as much of a need. Like it depends who's there. I don't think Pregnon's going to be a guy that like kind of like run the card up. Like Ioane, maybe you run the card up. He's there at 16. But even now, maybe not because like you still have a receiver you still have to fill that role. But if all the receivers are gone and he's there, that might be the choice. But
Isn't
I think
Pons
right
like
now,
more of a slot corner.
what was that?
Isn't Pons more of a slot corner?
So Pons, I think Pons would be like kind of what Deion Branch was for Aaron Glenn and not Alabama. He played for Alabama, but in Detroit, like just your nickel can play a little safety, just be basically a joker on the defense, just mess around and just be all over the field type of thing. I like Pons a lot, but I think more
Jacob Rodriguez. I mean, one of those two players, if we're not taking a quarterback, I think is what you should do.
Jacob Rodriguez got Heisman votes. You know what I mean?
Like, let's go Jacob Rodriguez. We got our linebacker now. We pair him up with Demario Davis. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. Bro, we got 2/3 coming up, don't we?
Yeah, 70 and 73.
Not bad. So here we go. You probably get Tyson.
Igbenogson.
Oh, bro, Elijah Surratt's there.
Yeah, we went
already got him. Yeah, we don't need another receiver. Let's take a look at running backs, dude. Anybody
running backs?
There? Yeah.
I don't think Jadarian Price is here. He's Raven picked. Jonah Coleman, who I like, but he's kind of fallen out of favor. I got to read up on what's going on with him because he was like someone that you were talking about early 3rd round pick, and now he's kind of
slipping.
Looks like he's hitting that like 4th round pick, or late 3rd, early 4th. He seems to be sliding this process.
We can definitely wait on running back then.
Well, not really, because we only have 70, 73, and then 175. So, if I were making a pick right here, so again, we went with Arvell Reese, we went with Mekhi Lemon, we went with Jacob Rodriguez.
Corner, guard, swing tackle, center.
Igbenogson.
Where does he come out of? Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no one at Ohio State stinks, bro. They're all like pedigree.
I do like Igbenogson a lot.
Let's go. Now we got a corner.
Oh, who else is there? Just to make sure. We got 70 and 73. We'd almost do Igbenogson and Connor Lew right after that. We got freaking interior O-line set up as well.
Yeah, let's do it. Just how you said it.
What just happened?
You took Igbenogson. Now you're up to 73.
Went in between. Dominic Orange, yeah. All right, so yeah, Connor Lew now.
I think this is gonna be a great draft, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe take a quarterback in the 6th round. We'll take Klubnik. Anybody, I don't care. We'll take somebody. Throw him in there. And a kicker. Let's get a kicker. Let's get Dominic Zvada.
Yeah, we got it.
Klubnik. Boom. See what quarterbacks are there before you do that. That's what I'm saying, Johnny boy. You know, listen, we'll take Klubnik here, but I'll tell you right now, in the right where I'm falling more and more in love with this freaking Cole Payton kid. You know? Let's go get our kicker, too. The next 2 picks we're going to do. You know they're going to give us a bad grade on that kicker, though.
Yeah, they're not going to like
it. There he is. Go get him. The hell with it.
No matter what.
Johnny, we got him, buddy.
We got him, Johnny
got
boy.
Our kicker. They get
earned 2 rewards.
An F on that one. But you know what? We need a kicker. I'm all good.
St. Patty's Day with Matt O'Leary.
Yeah, buddy.
I couldn't have planned it better myself. You know, I didn't even think about it until like after the fact. I was like, I reached out to him. Hey, want to pull it off March 17th? And then didn't even think about it. Like, it's like I thought St. Patrick's would be on a different day this year. So got a B minus. Oof.
Not bad.
Oof.
You know, if we would have picked anything else by there, I think we would have got a B plus or just a B. But you know what?
So they've gotten a little weird with their grading scale a little bit. So like over here, they got mad at us for getting Mekhi Lemon over David Bailey.
Yeah, okay. Let me go grab Arvell Reese and David Bailey. Okay.
Yeah, so they're not really taking that into consideration. I don't know who they wanted us to pick instead of Arvell Reese, who's the second best player in the draft.
They wanted us to take Fernando Mendoza.
So did I. So did I. But unfortunately, you went ahead of us.
I want to see everybody's report card on every team to see who's got better than a B minus, and I want to see what their picks look like. Right? I wish there was a way to see that.
So Connor Lou got a C. I don't know, man. I don't understand what happened to Connor Lou. Like as far as like, I know his injury, whatever, but this guy was being talked about.
He's ranked number 80. He's still in the top 3 rounds.
Yeah, but he was being talked about before this whole process, like a late first round pick.
Hey, listen, it must have been an injury. He's going to get back from it, and he's just going to be a top tier guy one day. Maybe he's the next. What's his name over there from the? What's his name over there? That got picked up by the Raiders. What's his name?
Linderbaum.
Who knows? I wouldn't be. Listen, if we did all that and ended up with those players, I wouldn't be mad, bro. We got our receiver stud. We got our Arvell Reese stud. You know what I'm saying? We got James Rodriguez stud. Let's go.
Maybe not picking a quarterback at 170 in a kicker. I mean at 178. But
we would have got a B. That F took us from a B plus B.
Oh my God, that F destroyed us. Oh, the 2 C's. I don't even know. I remember Pons was there at the time. Ty Simpson was there. Maybe that's the biggest thing with that too. Ty Simpson still being on the board.
Listen. I mean, I'll be honest with you. If that were to happen, which listen, I don't think Ty Simpson's coming out of the first round. He's going to be a first round pick. He's going to be in the first round.
I think so too.
Anywhere from top in the 10 to 20 range. He's going to get drafted.
Look what happened. Look what happened with the 1 year with Bo Nix.
Yeah, I mean these guys came out of
McCarthy.
Was it
Michael Penix? No, it was top 6. Went in the top 12.
That's insane.
Or top 14, whatever it was.
It was nuts, But that was the year of the quarterback, and we're getting ready for the year of the quarterback too. There's going to be at least 4 quarterbacks that are coming out next year. And we got 3 first rounders. Okay, I don't want to hear nothing. We're getting our guy next year.
Are we getting our guy by standing pat, or are we getting our guy because we have to use some of those first round picks to get him?
No, I don't. Let me tell you something, dude, and don't be surprised. I'm telling you right now. Watch out for Indy, dude. Especially now. Oof. Dude, I mean, I don't know. When is Daniel Jones coming back, number 1? He's had his Achilles. Didn't he have an Achilles tear?
Yeah, but that happened like mid-season.
Yeah, but
Aaron Rodgers almost came back and like.
Yeah, but you see how these quarterbacks come back from an Achilles. It takes a year or 2 to get back on your feet, dude. You know what I'm saying? And knowing his history, dude, whew. And then they traded away Pittman on top of that. Then they brought in Michael Clemens as a defensive end. Dude, that was a no-brainer. for sure, I thought they're tanking for us. They're helping us out.
I mean,
they signed Michael Clemens for $18 million, 3-year deal, dude. I mean, come on, dude. Like, who does that?
Did they really give him 3 years?
Yeah, it was a 3-year deal worth almost $18 million. Like, this is real shit we're talking about. Like, dude, like, I don't get it. I really don't understand that.
If Indy gets us the first overall pick, would you buy a Clemens jersey?
Oh hell yeah! I will definitely buy. I definitely buy a Clemens jersey for that.
That would probably be like the best case scenario. Like Indy somehow getting us like into like the top three,
and we're like an
like a 6 or 7 win team.
Yeah, I would love that. Best of both worlds there.
That's what happened with the Bears. Like if you remember when they got Justin Fields, not Justin Fields,
Caleb
Williams. Like I think their pick. Oh no, well they were still in top 10, but still they had 2 top 10 picks.
That was a trade game with Carolina.
Yeah, Carolina.
Yeah, they're the idiots. So now Indy's the idiots.
I mean, they were making an attack for a quarterback, though. Like, you can't really blame them.
They were making an attack for a quarterback where Indy was making an attack for a cornerback. You know? Daniel Jones is going to show us what Daniel Jones is all about next year. He already got his money.
Well, I'm just hoping it's very similar to what the Giants, like when he that first year with Dayball, he like lit it up, earned that contract. Like I want him to pull a Ryan Fitzpatrick. You remember Ryan Fitzpatrick?
Beautiful thing.
Fantastic year.
And then Voodoo.
Get paid.
Got pooped.
And then suck.
Poop the bed.
Fantastic year. Get paid. And then suck. And he did that. Like, he did it to our Rams once. He did it to us once. I think he did it with the Bills.
But let's go back to Indy last year. After they traded for Sauce Gardner, okay, what happened to that team? And it was not injury yet because Daniel Jones missed. He was still there playing like 4 or 5 games after that. Okay, they won 1 game out of the next 9. They went 1-8 in the last 9 games or something like that. So there's truly something wrong there. And then they addressed this offseason, right? Not having a number 1 pick. Okay. Trading away Pittman, signing Pierce to $28-30 million. Okay. Signing Clemens. I mean, these are the players they brought in. Dude, they are clearly tanking for us, bro.
They're tanking, paying $30 million to a receiver.
No, I get it. No, I'm just saying, I don't, dude. I mean, you thought we had it bad, but bro, get ready to see what's going to be Indy next year. I mean, and you know what, I love Jonathan Taylor as a running back, but it's another year, man. He disappeared second part of that season. Just saying. They could be a world where the Jets have 2 picks in the top 10 next year.
What really did happen to them? I don't even know. Like
that's what I mean. I know what happened. We gave them the Jets luck, dude. We sent them Sauce Gardner. You know what I'm saying?
That would be nice.
You know how they say it? We gave them how they call it? How do they call it in Italian? What did they give them?
I'm looking up Michael.
The Malocchio. We gave them the Malocchio. But yeah, I mean that's that.
Oh my God. No, Mike Clemens.
Oh, you're looking at that contract they gave him?
Yeah,
dude,
it's 3 years, $10 million.
What was it?
3 years, $10 million.
I thought it was 18. Are you sure about that? Or was 10 guaranteed?
Oh no, wait, I was reading this. They did this weird over here. 3 years, $17 million. Why did they do?
What did they give him? 3 for 17?
Yeah, 3 for 17. And they had these columns all screwed up here.
And they gave him 10 million guaranteed. That's what it was. But dude, think about that for a second. Who's the guy that said, I want Michael Clemens? Like, what the hell did he show on that field? I mean, that's a boneheaded move. I'm sorry.
Do the Colts have somebody like maybe? I know why.
Why?
They're gonna use because Saleh's the head coach of Tennessee now. Michael Clemens is gonna be their intel on how Saleh likes to run his defense.
You know, I didn't even think of that. You're right. You know what? I didn't see. You know what? Now I understand.
So when you look at that division, like, you got obviously Jaguars won division last year, and they're moving in the right direction with Liam Cohen.
Yep.
Houston, it's Houston. They're pretty solid.
I'll tell you right
solid
now.
Can, like, take that defense and, like, with Tennessee and take them up to that next tier. You're talking potentially – and we got to see what Cam Ward is. But Tennessee's done some moves to improve that offense.
You know what?
Have a top 4 pick that they're probably going to use on Jeremiah Love. Or
that's what I'm hearing, yeah. That's what I mean. But why wouldn't they use it on a receiver? I mean, you have a chance to bring in you got a chance to bring in Tate, Lemon.
That's possible too. I mean,
I'd rather have a number 1 receiver than a number 1 running back.
So the way a lot of teams are kind of starting to, like, view this draft is, if you're not getting one of the top 3 guys, the volume of receivers in the back end. What was that?
What do you mean by top 3 guys? Like who?
Top 3 guys at receiver, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have an option at number 4 to get the top 3 guys.
I'm saying if you're not going to get them, there's not a huge drop-off after that, like, between the rest of the guys. Like Omar Cooper, KC Concepcion,
Surratt,
Denzel Dawson. There's a few options out there you can get in the second round that a lot of people love, just like in that range, that bucket. I like Carnell Tate. I like Makai Lemon. Honestly, if I was picking 4th and I was Tennessee, I'm, like, eyeing Sonny Styles to anchor that defense. But
I mean, you could go that route, or
especially Salah. He wants his leader.
Well, of course. Well, that's kind of where if it's Salah here, I mean, I don't know, man. He should have learned his lesson from the first time. You got to get your quarterback a receiver.
But you got Zach Wilson a receiver, you just didn't have a quarterback.
Well, yeah.
You got to get your quarterback an arm first.
Cam Ward's a good quarterback, dude. I think he could be good.
Not Cam Ward.
You know, you got to give him a weapon, though.
He's going to be working with Dayball now, so.
Oh, 100%. So it's got to be offensive player there. I mean, that's Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
You know, good luck to them.
We'll see. I mean, that would be outstanding if we end up getting some, like, draft pick luck and Colts just fall apart next year.
Dude, they are 100%. And what are the odds? Listen, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm not so sold on friggin' Dallas neither, dude. Like Dallas, I mean, how many games did they win last year? 6?
Or Green Bay. I mean,
Green Bay. I mean, we don't know Green Bay.
You don't know about Green Bay with Micah Parsons. I mean, he should be fine, but he's coming off an ACL. Like,
that's what I'm saying, dude. And you know what? Honestly, I'm not saying they're going to be like. Listen, I don't see Dallas or Green Bay like being that bad, but I could see them winning 6 games. One of the teams winning 6 games. Dallas did it last year. What was Dallas's record last year? 6 or 7 wins.
Yeah, but I think Dallas has done a pretty good job this offseason. They've made some improvements.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
and they're still potentially in the running for Crosby, although it sounds like maybe Crosby's staying put with the Raiders. But
so here's a question about that. After all that money they spent in free agency, okay, now to have Crosby back, like, doesn't that put him over the cap?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's still under the cap when they made that move? Oh, crap. Damn it. They have a lot of money to spend, huh?
Well, they structured a lot of those contracts like
Deep
out years and stuff. So
I see. That's just
plenty of cap room.
Hey, listen, that could be a team, honestly. If Fernando hits for that team, I mean, listen, you can go from the worst to one of the, better teams in the NFL. I mean, they could be that wild card team. You know what I'm saying? If he hits.
So as of right now, with Crosby's number on the books, they're sitting at $26 million in cap space. There's a couple of contracts that aren't like accounted for in here, but these guys don't look like they got big contracts.
And what are we sitting at? About 30 million on the cap? 33?
No, 40. I think it's 43, but there's still, like, for us, like, the biggest contract was Parham's contract that I didn't see on there yet.
So that's going to be another 10 off that. So 33 million. You know what? Listen, we're good then. I mean, like you said.
Well, it depends how they structure it, though. They've been using the void years a lot, which I don't really like personally. But
yeah, you know what? After next year, we're going to have all that dead money from the quarterbacks gone. So that's a good thing. You know?
Yeah, but now we're immediately creating dead cap by all these void years.
It's just a game, man. Everybody does it. You know?
So $45 million currently. And then, like I said, we still have Parham's contract isn't.
And you said we need
Max Mitchell, Andre Cisco.
And we need about 16 for the draft? Close to 16?
I think it's like 20, 24.
Oh, it's 20 to 24 million, especially with 2 first rounders and 2 seconds. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Let me double check.
I mean, like you said, are there any moves they can make? I mean, nothing that's going to make us way, way better. But if you could bring in a positional, I mean, if you want to talk receiver, I mean, what would it cost to bring like a Stephon Diggs to the Jets for a year?
I think he played like last year for like 15 million for the Patriots, something like that.
I mean, do you think the Jets for around the same money for a 1-year deal? Would you want him on the Jets?
I would say, do you want him?
No, I'm just saying. I mean, if you wanted to bring in another receiver, you know, just to bring in the room, that's why I was thinking more of that whole what's his name, the Joku tight end. I mean, if you could get him in for like $4 or $5 million, man, I don't know what they're thinking here. I mean, he's pretty solid too.
Here we go, rookie pools. The Jets rookie pool is $23 million.
Oh, okay. Million. That's if they make every pick.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm more inclined to trading away our 6th and 7th rounders to bring more players in. You know,
but the 6th and 7th rounders aren't the money.
No, I know that, but I'm more in line on doing that. You know, bringing some Muji specials in. Let's go.
So number 2 is a $10 million contract. 16 is a $4 million contract. 33 is a. Oh, it says right here. 33 is a $2.5 million contract. And why is this thing not going away? 44 is a $2 million contract. Those are the big ones. The big one is obviously $10 million for your first pick, and then the $4 million. That's $14 million you spent on first round pick guys, and then your second round picks are about $2 million each.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Yeah. But anyway, that's good there. But yeah, that's all I got here pretty much. Anything else you want to get on? Like, we talked Justin Fields stuff already.
No, we pretty much covered it a lot. It was cool having Matt on today. You know, we got to do it again one other day. And I know I'm good. We'll do it next week. I know next week you're going to have we're going to do a short stream, you said?
Yeah, we'll just kind of quick recap whatever happens between now and then.
Okay.
We'll do a quick mock draft, no trades.
Okay, straight up.
2,
hey,
16, 33, 44.
I'll tell you right now, I mean, if that's the trade you do to move up to get your receiver, I mean, that answers your spot.
So I know Jordan Tyson's injuries are a major concern, but the Jets also have other needs too. So, like, while I like Mekhi Lemon, Garrett Wilson kind of at his best is in the slot.
So you want your 44th pick for a chance for a number 1 guy?
It's not what I'm saying. I think the problem with like, and I'm not saying I'm against it, Mekhi Lemon at his best does what Garrett Wilson does at his best, and that's to play the slot.
Right. Would you be mad at well, first of all, Garrett could play the whole field, and so can
I know he can play the whole field, but at his best, he's in the slot.
No, I get it.
So you already have Adonai Mitchell on the outside. You bring in a guy like Jordan Tyson who can play on the outside on the perimeter.
He's the next guy, yeah. 6'4", 220. I think that's what he is.
I'm not sure his measurables.
6'2", actually 6'2", I think it was 6'2", 220, 215. I don't know, man. His injuries, man, scare me.
203.
Yeah, it just scares me, dude. his injury history, dude.
Same, but
I mean, let's say you take best available at 16, and at the top of the third, your first pick in the second round, you take a guy like Boston. You wouldn't do it.
say who are you taking at 16?
Or you take best available, and then at pick 33, you take somebody like a Boston or a Cooper.
But here's my thing, like I don't know if there's I don't know if there's many scenarios where you can say there's someone better than Jordan Tyson at 16.
Well, he was supposed to be the best player in his draft as far as receiver wise.
Yeah.
You know, as far as his injury history really kind of screwed everything up. I mean, listen,
Yeah,
imagine he falls to 16, the Jets take him, and he becomes like the next Calvin Johnson in football. I mean, come on. I mean, that would be amazing. You know what I'm saying? That would be amazing. You know, but I just get a little wary about all these injuries, bro. That's all. But hey, if he's the pick at 16, if he makes it to 16, I think they'll run into the
hear you, especially the Jets. They don't have the best luck with these.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Especially injuries, dude. Oof. It's like one after another.
We'll see what happens. How many days is until the draft? Let's see what
we got. Today's the 17th, 16th. So we got 37 days. 38 days.
And it's not 163 days.
I think it's like 37 days.
It's not 89 either. What the hell is AI doing?
Put NFL draft in.
I did. it even has the date here. It's saying there are 89 days until the NFL drafts on April 23rd. It's like, no, it's not.
Geez. We got 23 days in April.
I know.
And you got 14 days here. 37 days.
That's what AI is telling me.
Yeah, it's 37 days till the draft.
I want AI to give me the answer.
Yeah, it depends on who you use.
I'm using Google, so just a quick Google search. Can't do math.
Okay, Google.
I've noticed lately that AI does not know how to do math yet. So that's I think we all still have our jobs for at least a little while.
Oh boy.
Anyway, all right, man. It's been fun. That mock draft. I got 10 of these on my desktop that we gotta compare at some point and see
that'd be awesome.
How bad. I gotta look at the first one, see how far off we were at some point.
The first one we were still doing Arvell Reese. I mean, I think we've done more Arvell Reese than anything with the first pick. You know, we had a couple of. I think we had Bain one day. We had Bailey another time. Sonny Styles another time. I mean, we've been moving all over the place with that.
Yeah,
but that's what makes it fun, though. You know.
The very first mock draft isn't here though. Where'd it go?
Our mock draft 1.0.
Let me see. Our very first mock draft was. Oh, that's right. Dante Moore, number 2.
Oh, okay.
Dante Moore, number 2. Carnell Tate, number 16.
Oh, yeah.
Amari Washington, number 33. He stayed in college.
Oh,
and then Connor Lew at 44. I'm very interested to see how many mock drafts we pick Connor Lew, because I feel like I've been saying this guy's gonna be a lot. Yeah, he's been one of the more consistent ones. But anyway, all right, bro.
All right, man.
We'll talk next week.
Yes.
Matt O'Leary, appreciate you for joining the show. I'm gonna jump on their show in a little bit here, just to hop in their chat, show them some support. Go Jets. Yeah. But yeah, Matt, thank you for joining the show. Everyone in the chat, appreciate you for being here and joining us for this last hour and 20 minutes. It was a pretty quick show compared to what we've had in the past.
It was. We had fun with this one too.
Johnny Boy got his wish.
We got him. Dominic
Zvada, no matter what. If you haven't already,
for it, but it's okay.
Anybody, if you haven't already, just hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's go Jets.
Let's go Jets.